And join my colleagues as they appear on the East Steps, my Democratic colleagues, and calling all colleagues to stand under the bright shining sun to celebrate that democracy. For today, Democrats will stand united, calling upon our Republican friends to push for a vote on comprehensive, reasonable, sensible immigration reform. I stand with these icons. Remember always that all of us, and you and I especially, are descended from immigrants and revolutionists. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The land flourished because it was fed from so many sources, because it was nourished by so many cultures and traditions and people. President Lyndon Baines Johnson. Everywhere, immigrants have enriched and strengthened the fabric of American life. President John F. Kennedy, who never strayed away from his strong Irish heritage. Then, of course, in Women's History Month, I am a beneficiary of the American people's generosity, and I hope we can have comprehensive immigration legislation that allows this country to continue to be enriched by those who are not born here. Former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. Sheila Jackson Lee, a descendant of Jamaican immigrants. My grandmother and grandfather came by way of the Panama Canal. Today I can go to the Panama Canal and see my grandfather's name etched there, for he worked with his hands to build the Panama Canal. And then the family traveled with small suitcases to South Carolina and ultimately made a life in this great nation. What a privilege I have to serve in this body as a descendant, as someone who has recent immigrant grandparents who came to this nation for opportunity. Finally, let me offer these thoughts for this quote. This issue has been around for too long. A comprehensive approach is long overdue. And I am confident that the President, myself, others can find the common ground to take care of this issue once and for all. House Speaker John Boehner. Mr. Speaker, I ask you today to stand with those eloquent and important Americans, presidents and Secretary of States, who have indicated that we are better for the immigrant opportunities that we have given. Mr. Boehner, we want a vote now. As you look, you will see a picture of Leader Pelosi and myself and my colleague from Alabama, Ms. Sewell. We are not important, but the children who are here, who are diverse in their understanding of cultural diversity. Mr. Speaker, or Madam Speaker, these children speak Chinese and Spanish. They are 2 years old and 3 years old and 4 years old. They're in the Barbara Jordan International Child Care Center. We know we need child care, but they understand the richness of what happens with diversity. Let me share with you very briefly that there are 16.4% of Texans are foreign-born, 42% are Latino or Asian, 87% of children with immigrant parents are U.S. citizens, and 75% of those children are English fluent. These are individuals who want to contribute to America. Asian-owned businesses in Texas create $40.2 billion in income or revenue. Latino-owned creates $61.9 billion in revenue from the businesses. And here is the results of deporting rather than putting forward a comprehensive immigration reform legislation, not for people who want to do you harm, but they want to do you good. And I am glad that H.R. 1417 is in the bill that we want to vote on. That's the bipartisan Homeland Security bill that I helped write that came out in a bipartisan manner. But this is what America will do to herself without comprehensive immigration reform. We will lose in wages $33.2 billion if you deport every immigrant or person that is non-status. In tax revenue, you'll lose $14.5 billion. And in the jobs creation, you will lose $77.7 billion in a decrease in gross state product. This is from the state of Texas alone. So in actuality, comprehensive immigration reform creates jobs. It creates opportunities. But you know what? It is the right thing to do. As a young child, I look to the Statue of Liberty for such inspiration. I remember school trips going to the Statue of Liberty, and I'm reminded of that standing arm that said it welcomes those who are worn.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
It welcomes them to the greatest democracy in the world. Give us a vote right now. We want to vote for immigration reform, comprehensive immigration reform. We want these children to grow up in a democracy.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
I yield back.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.